Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and on my little corner of the web I like to talk about budgeting and all things finance, and today I am sharing my May 2021 budget with me, and I am planning in my Plum Paper Planner. This is actually a little sheet that I create myself, and I theme it to match their monthly subscription kit for their stickers. So this month this is like their sticker kit. You can look at it, I'm really into that. But this month I really was going off of like the layers, and I really like this pattern a lot. So I was excited to make this spreadsheet and excited to be filming in my new house. If you follow my channel and follow along with my videos, you know that my life has been kind of in flux. We were in the process of moving, and we were living with my in-laws while we were renovating our house a little bit. And so I'm finally in my own office, in my space. So I am happy to be here, and I will get into it. May, I think, will be kind of, the first month where we won't actually have rental income. So we were renting out our house to some people short term while we were waiting for our lease to end, and they were giving us $1,300 every month, but that is no longer happening. So we are back to just kind of our normal income, but we do have some miscellaneous income that I have planned. We have 4 personal sources of income. I have 2 jobs, and Jared has 2 sources of income. That's my husband, but I don't share those for his privacy. But we are planning on bringing in $1,000 of miscellaneous income, and this is really just holding money that we are planning on. So my husband works as he's a draftsman for an architect, and the architect is also his dad, and they are going to be kind of out of town for a couple months working on a project in a different state, his parents. So we don't really know what his work is going to look like. So we wanted to kind of budget for having a low income month, because that work does make up a pretty big portion of our monthly take-home pay. So I'm just going to hold about $1,000 from our April pay to use in May, which is possible for us because we actually got our stimulus check in April. It took forever, but we finally got it. So that's kind of where that money's coming from, and you'll see that how that all works out in my April budget wrap up at the end of April. But anyway, so we're planning on $100 or $1,000 for miscellaneous, which will make our total amount already making mistakes and needing whiteout. That's just a constant for me. 680. Okay, and then usually I realized after I started filming that I usually write out these amounts, but I have not, so I'll just do that on camera today for you guys. The first category in our budget is always our tithe, and this month it'll probably be $600 because we will have already tithed off our $1,000. The next item in our budget is our mortgage, which is technically $1,160, but I just have auto pay set up to pay $1,200. And then my phone bill, I just pay that to my mom because I'm on her family plan, and it's $44. Our Wi-Fi, and if you watch my videos, you'll notice that like this setup is a little bit new. I've kind of rearranged it because after we got rid of double bills for having bills from our apartment and bills for our house, I didn't need as many lines in our bills category, which was great. So I kind of played with the layout and have shortened that, added our debt category on this page, and then moved my like little finals section to right here. But anyway, Wi-Fi, it's going to be $70. Electricity, I think I already got this bill, and it's only $24 because it's for, I guess, like the portion of time in March and April when no one was living in the house. So it's a really low bill. And then water, sewer, trash. I don't know what this is going to be, but last month is 94, so I'm going to say 94 again. And then natural gas, I don't really know. I'm just going to say 75. This one's been kind of weird because we've had a credit on our account for a couple months because I guess we overpaid. They overcharged us. I don't know. So I'm just going to write 75, and we'll hope that it's lower. And then our car insurance is through Progressive, and that's $154. And health insurance, Jared's health insurance, I have mine free through my mom because I'm under 26 still. His is $161. So our total for the bills category is $2,422. And then debt. So we only have one debt, and that is my student loan. But since because of the virus, there is, the forbearance right now. So I'm not currently paying on that, but I am putting money aside in kind of a debt holding account to kind of see what happens for September. And that is our only debt. So in the past couple of months, I was writing like my budgeted debt amount in here, but then putting it actually in the savings spot. But I think that I'm just going to leave this debt section blank, but just keep this as a line in case for some reason we do pay on the debt this month. But anyway, we'll go to the expenses side. First one is always groceries / household. Oop, I forgot the E in household. It's fine. And I am going to try to get back to 400. We'll see how this goes. It may be a huge failure, but it's been a little over recently. I upped it to 420 and then to 450 last month, but I'm really hopeful that we can get back down to 400 just because I kind of feel like we've been spending so much money on groceries, and we have been having to go to the more expensive grocery store because we used to go to Aldi and now it's way further away. But I think that I have a better plan for how I'm going to grocery shop to make sure that we get like the essentials that are non-perishable at Aldi at the beginning of the month. And then eating out, give us 180. And then gas, I've been raising this just because it's been getting more expensive and I feel like we've been driving a little more. So I'm going to do $80 for gas. And Jared's allowance, give him $100. And then I do the same for myself. And this is something we started a couple months ago. I like it. I think it works well for us and it lets me, not feel bad about spending money and gives Jared kind of more freedom. He doesn't really handle the finances, so he was just, we're newlyweds, kind of, I guess. It's now been over a year, but it was kind of an adjustment, figuring out how we were going to handle finances together, and we had some growing pains, but I feel like this works really well for us so that there is no frustration. And subscriptions, I added a subscription. I used to do $60 a month, but I got a subscription to the New York Times because I was sick of hitting their paywall. And I do believe in paying for journalism. I was actually a journalism major in college, so I understand the value of journalism and the need for a paywall. So I don't feel bad about subscribing to that. But it did raise our subscription cost. And then gifts. Mother's Day is in May, so I'm planning $60. We already got our gift for my mother-in-law, but I haven't gotten my gift for my own mom. And I have an idea for what it is, but I won't say because she's been watching my videos, so I don't want to give it away. But I am planning on that, and I don't think we have any other birthdays in May. And then miscellaneous. Every month we just budget $100 here miscellaneous, and this is like, I don't even know I can't even think of an example right now that would be miscellaneous, but if there's an item and I'm like, I cannot figure out how to categorize it, I put it there. And then travel. So we have a couple trips planned for June, and I don't know if we'll actually need to spend any money in May, but I wanted to put a line there because I hate when I don't have enough lines and it just like messes up. So I'm just putting kind of a hold there just in case we need to spend $100 for travel. And then house. So I was doing like a house line and putting in like all of our house stuff and also all of our renovation costs there. But I decided that I needed to break it up because we're doing we just moved, so we're doing two different kinds of things. And one is doing actual renovations to the house, like changing trim, painting things. Right now we're building a kitchen island, then we're going to be building shutters, a lot of exterior work, that kind of stuff. But then we're also, furnishing the house. So we bought a couch and we just bought a rug and all those kinds of things. So I wanted to separate them to get kind of a clearer picture of how the money is being spent and what is being put into kind of actual house value and what is just, our stuff. So for house stuff, I'm planning on $350. And there are just a ton of things that I want. It's really overwhelming right now because we've been living here. I think this is our 10th day. And there's still a lot of stuff in boxes. We've done a lot of unpacking, but there's a lot of stuff in boxes and some things, that worked in our apartment that we had, but don't work here. And, some storage solutions that we need to add for our closet, for the pantry. And I'm trying to get all of that, but there is like such an urge to get it all immediately. Like I just want to add it all to my cart and buy it right now. But I know that's not wise, and I'm still working on debt payoff, which is my main goal. So I'm trying to be more frugal about it, but it's hard because I really want everything to be ready now. But so I am giving a pretty generous budget still. I think after May, maybe in June, but definitely after June, we'll kind of put a hold on bigger amounts and definitely give ourselves a much smaller budget for that after we get all these major things. And then reno, I'm planning $400. I don't know. We spent a lot of money on renovations in April. You'll see that in my wrap up budget. So I'm not quite sure what we'll be doing in May, because I think we kind of bought all of it. No, we definitely didn't. But there are some things that we need to buy. We're changing our kitchen countertops, and we're buying a new sink, which I wasn't planning on doing so soon, but we just did. But we aren't going to be able to do that until Darren's parents get back from their trip in June or July, just because we are not very comfortable doing it ourselves. We don't want to mess it up, obviously, with like all expensive materials. So I don't know if we'll need to buy anything, but I'm sure we'll have to buy really simple things. So I just gave ourselves a little bit of a budget for that. So our total amount of expenses this month is $19.40. And by little, I mean, I know this is still a lot of money, but for house renovations, it's a very, very small amount. And then savings. So the first thing is our emergency fund. And we had what I was considering like a funded emergency fund of $5,000. But I just felt like I needed to, and my goal was to pay off all our debt and then finish out that emergency fund, add another $5,000 to it this year, then start working on other goals, then add another, I don't know, maybe $5,000 to it just to kind of make it more complete. But I kind of just felt like I needed to be adding a little bit each month to be working on that goal. I hate to stretch myself too thin on financial goals, and I really do think it's important to focus on one major one. But with just the state of things and Jared being self-employed, I thought it was important to just be adding a little bit. So, and actually, I've changed this from what it was before. So these are my sinking funds, and wow, I really should have done this beforehand because I did not. But I know that this will have, I can't actually put the start amount because I don't know what it'll be at the end of April, but I can just put my like plus or minus amount. So I used to just do, I'll actually show you on my April so you can see, just flip through all of this. I used to just do kind of my budgeted and actual, just like all my other categories, but I thought that I should start showing kind of how much is in each account of savings. It's easier for me to look at. That's what I do I have an Excel spreadsheet too, just to make sure that I get all my math right before I write it all down. But I will leave that blank. I'll just put the amount, and then I'll leave that blank too, obviously. But so I think I have $5,400 in there as of the end of April. So just adding $100 every month until we finish paying off debt or have enough money in the debt account to kind of pay that off when we need to, and then I will make that our like big financial goal. But the next thing, as I just talked about, is debt holding. So this I'll do this one last because that's how I used to do it, because I do a zero-based budget, so all of my surplus goes there. Home maintenance and reno, I don't anticipate putting anything towards this month because obviously we're still very much spending in this category, but my goal after we're done with kind of all of our upfront spending right now is to save 1% of the home value every year. So our home, we bought it for $185, so that'll be, and I will link the video that shares kind of our mortgage details up above. But so that's, I can't remember, obviously $1,800 a year, which roughly was like some amount, but I'm just going to plan on doing $180 a month after, just like continually as a sinking fund. So we're not doing that yet because obviously we're spending money, but that is the plan. So I wanted to leave it as a line item. And then investments, this is mostly my Roth IRA, which I put only $20 a week into because, again, working on debt right now. But we will start contributing to kind of max that out after we finish debt payoff. And I think I'm just going to have $100. We like to put $20 into like our single stocks just for fun. Jared likes to do that. So $80 to my Roth and $20 to that. And then travel. And this category, so I'm allocating $350 this month, but since we're planning on spending $100, I'm just going to put $250 here. And then that's my plan. And then we'll kind of see how it goes. And then gifts. My plan is $0 because we will be spending it up there. Christmas. I'm not really focusing on Christmas right now as a goal because it's still so early in the year and we're working on other things, but I'm just going to do $20 in there. And then health, I always do $100 in this account. And I was trying to figure out how much, like how big to let that sinking fund get. And a lot of comments said to just keep it growing until I reach the amount of our deductible, which I know is wise. It's kind of a bummer because our deductible is very high. It's like $8,000. So that's a lot of money to save for just health costs when we have so many other goals. But I mean, we won't reach that anytime soon with just $100 a month. So that's okay. And then auto. We do drive older cars, so I put $150 in a sinking fund for maintenance every month. And all of these little start accounts, these are sinking funds. I actually just recently this month opened up a bank account where I'm keeping that entire balance, which I'm hoping will make it easier. I was keeping them in cash envelopes, but I'm not actually a cash spender. So it was kind of a hassle to go to the bank, get cash out. Then when I have to spend from those categories, like going back and depositing my cash, and it was just kind of a nightmare. So I'm hoping that this will make it easier and easier to transfer, exact amounts, because with cash it was like I just round it to the nearest 10 or 20, whatever I get from the bank. So hopefully this will be easier to keep track of, and I can keep track of that amount in my spreadsheet that I have. So the surplus from all of this that will go to my debt holding account, which is a separate savings account, is $15.98, which makes this total category $23.18. So that is my plan for a zero-based budget this month. I'm really hopeful for May that it'll be just a good income month and a low expense month, because I feel like we've been having really, really high expense months recently. So thank you so much for watching my video. And if you want to get this little sheet to stick in your budget, I actually have, I'll link it down in my description below. It's just a PDF that I make, and I thought I worked so hard on it, might as well share it with everyone. So there'll just be a link, and you can print it out for free and then cut it to fit in your planner. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.